Hello and welcome back to the channel. In this video you will learn such important things to work with Redux inside React, like MapStateToProps and MapDispatchToProps. So let's jump right into it. In previous video we already generated a React project using create-react-app and bind it there Redux. So let's check how it looks like. As you can see, here is our UI. We have here an input. We're typing something, clicking add user, and we get here a rendered user. So here inside our index.html in source, I have store create store. This is how we're creating a Redux store for React. We also need here to wrap our application in provider to bring store to every component of our application. Now here we have our reducer, and as you can see our reducer is just an empty array by default, and then when we have an action add user, we add this user to this array. This is it. And if it's not this action, we are just returning default state. And the last but not least is our app.js component. As you can see, this is normal class component where we have in state username, and here as you can see in render we have an input with value and change, and here is click button, and here is our array of props. So actually first of all we have handle user, so we are changing this local username. This is just plain React. But we also have a function add user, and here we're using this props dispatch to dispatch an action for our Redux. And actually in this video I want to focus more on this connect with MapStateToProps and other function MapDispatchToProps. So actually the correct way inside React to work with Redux is by using this connect function. This function on the top, and we're providing inside MapStateToProps to map partially or fully our state. This is why here as a first argument we have state, and we must return here an object. This is really forbidden to return anything else. And inside this object we can create whatever properties we need to, and these properties will appear inside props. This is why here we have these props users. But actually we can do much more with MapStateToProps. We can not only return here some data, but also normalize this data. Because actually here our state can be whatever. For example, a huge object, we can read properties from it and normalize it. Let's say that here we want to get inside our component not all users, which is just our global state, but users which is filtered by some search string. So here I can create a variable, for example, users with foo inside their name. So for this, state is our array of users. So we want to filter this array of users, and here we have access for every user. And now I want to check that our user includes foo. Actually, yes, of course, this foo search string is not defined anywhere. This is just a plain string. So the idea is that we are filtering here our data from state, and we can return them here. So here I am writing users with foo, which actually means every time when we're making dispatch, like for example here in add user, our state is changing. And MapStateToProps will trigger again and again because our state was changed. And we call this function again and again to filter users and get new users here inside. So let's check this out. Here inside render, I want to console log, for example, users with foo, and it will be inside this .props.users with foo. So let's check if it's working. I'm reloading the page. As you can see, here is our MapStateToProps, and here is our console log users with foo. And actually users with foo is inside render. So by default we got empty array, which is kind of logical because our state here in reducer is also an empty array. Now if I am typing something, as you can see we're getting users with foo again and again because we have render function, which is being called because we changed state. Actually this part doesn't have to do anything with Redux, and this props users with foo is not recalculated again. But at the moment when we're hitting add user, as you can see here we got a new action inside our reducer, and here is our MapStateToProps, which actually means MapStateToProps is being called again because our global state was changed. And this is what we console logged here inside MapStateToProps, this is our state, because here we have a single user with this name. And as you can see, users with foo is actually empty array again, because our component was re-rendered, so this line was also called, but of course this string that I wrote does not include foo. But if here I will write, for example, like this, and I'm clicking here add user, you can see that users with foo now has this element, because we just filtered our users and checked that foo is inside the user. This is why here we're getting our single element, and here it is available inside our render. As you can see, our render is users with foo. I can write here render, for example, so we can see that this is render. We're reloading the page. Here is our foo. We're clicking add, and as you can see inside render, we have full access to users with foo, which actually means we really can use MapStateToProps to normalize our data. And as you can see, this is super simple because we have access to all properties in our application. And actually, you should understand that there is no magic here. So MapStateToProps is just our function which we give inside Connect. So what Connect does is just reading store.getState to get the global state of our Redux, and then it simply calls MapStateToProps function and giving state inside. And of course, all this code will be simply executed, and we will get back what we defined here. But this is not the single goal to normalize data with MapStateToProps or read values from state. Also, there is a sugar inside this MapStateToProps for performance optimizations. MapStateToProps makes should component update inside, which actually means, as I said, MapStateToProps is called every time when the state changes, and it can be really often. What is good for us, MapStateToProps will cache props and won't re-render our component when these values are not changed. Which actually means if we are changing something in our application and these props didn't change compared with old props, then our component won't be re-rendered. This is why it's not that bad from performance point of view, because the values are cached if they are not changed. One more important thing that you need to know regarding MapStateToProps is that we have access to own props of the component inside here, and this is super important. Just imagine that here we are inside index.js and we want to pass some information as a props for our component. And if we are building our components like shareable components, we are doing it all the time. So here I want to say, for example, we have search text prop and this is foo. So yes, of course, this is just a static string. Now inside our app, we have access to these props. But the point is that we really want to access this search text inside MapStateToProps. This is really important for us because in this case we can normalize users how we want to. And this is really easy to do. As a second parameter here we can get own props. And here let's check not only state but also own props. Now let's reload the page. And as you can see, this is our MapStateToProps, this is our state, and here we can see an object, search text foo. And this is exactly our own props of the component, which means we are getting access to the props and we can use them inside normalization. So here we can write for users with foo, this user includes, and here we can use own props dot search text. And in this case, we will use own props and not just some static string, which means if we are changing this own props outside, then we will also change it here. So let's reload the page and check if it's working. So I'm typing something, clicking add user, and as you can see, everything is working fine. And here we got this user because it includes search text foo. But there is one more important point here. If we are using own props, it is fine to have it as a second parameter. But if we are not using it, then we should not write it here because it makes MapStateToProps slower because it should access own props also. Now I want to talk about another function which is MapDispatchToProps. And actually, as you saw here, at the moment when we're using connect, we have in these props access to the dispatch function. This is how we're using it. And this is totally fine, but we can do even better. Why this approach is bad? First of all, because our component knows what is this prop dispatch, and actually it's not somehow isolated. What we really want to do is isolate this dispatch so our component doesn't know anything about dispatch. As you can see with our state, we are getting exactly that. We still have only this props something, and our component doesn't know that this information is coming from connect or from Redux. And we want to do exactly the same with this props dispatch. And for this, here we have a second parameter inside connect, and it is called MapDispatchToProps. And as you can understand from the name, it's exactly the same idea. So we have dispatch and we want to put it inside props. So here we need to create a new function and name it MapDispatchToProps. And inside this function, as a first argument, we are getting our dispatch from Redux. Now what we want to do inside is return an object, just like we did in MapStateToProps. And here inside we want actually to create a function for this call for add_user, because this is exactly what for we're using dispatch here. So I want inside to write add_user, and this will be my new function. So what I can do here is just write that this is an arrow function that we are returning, and here I am calling dispatch in exactly the same way like I did there on the top. So here is add_user, and here is our payload. And actually I will write here null, and we will talk regarding it in a second. So as you can see, this MapDispatchToProps has access to dispatch, and here we want to create a function, and inside this function we want to execute dispatch. This is why we're returning here dispatch. Now, instead of our this props dispatch here, we can write this props add_user. And actually here we can pass some information. As you can see here, this round brackets is exactly 4 parameters that we will call here. So here I want to pass inside this state username. And then we can access this information as the first parameter here. So inside this round brackets, I will write username, and then we can use this username inside payload. So why it is good? First of all, we isolated fully this dispatch in this additional function outside of our component. And now we simply use a function from props, and our component doesn't know what it is about. Secondly, we can reuse this MapDispatchToProps in other places if we want to, because payload here is coming from the parameters here and not from the component. Now let's check if it's working. So I'm reloading the page, here typing foo as previously, and hitting add_user. As you can see, our dispatch is still there, everything is working as expected. But what is mostly important, we're now using this props user and not this props dispatch. And we really want to avoid this, because first of all, it is outside of the component, secondly, we can easier test our component later. But here is really important point to remember. As I already said, when we are using connect function, we are getting inside this props dispatch function, but we are only getting it if we didn't use MapDispatchToProps. If we wrote here MapDispatchToProps, this means that we are not having this props dispatch function inside anymore. We can check this really easy, so inside render I will write this props and reload the page. As you can see after reload, here is our render and here is our props. As you can see here, we have this add_user function that we created, but we don't have here dispatch function anymore. Also, it is possible to write MapDispatchToProps not like this, but as an object. And really it is more popular variant. So here I will comment this out and create here new MapDispatchToProps. What we want to do here is we really want to just make an object and inside add_user function like we did previously. The question is, what is add_user function? Actually, we can just make a function that will return the action. Just to remind you what is action, this is what we are passing inside dispatch. So this is this object with type add_user and payload. So here I can create add_user function, and this function will get as a parameter username, and inside I will simply return object with type, and it will be add_user, and here will be payload username. So actually in this function there is no magic, there is no Redux, no React. So this is just a plain function where we're getting username as a parameter and we're returning an object. But actually this object is an action. This is why this function, when we're writing it like this, is called action creator. And this is really important for us term, because now we can use this addUser action creator and pass inside MapDispatchToProps. So here is the difference. As you can see here, we inline created a function and we used here dispatch. Here we don't see dispatch at all, because inside MapDispatchToProps we're just passing a function which is action creator, so this function returns the action. And then inside MapDispatchToProps calls dispatch and we don't even see it. And actually this is a more popular approach to write MapDispatchToProps, because we can move such functions outside completely and just use them later everywhere where we need to inside MapDispatchToProps. So let's check if it's working like previously. So I am reloading the page, here I am typing our foo, cleaning the console and hitting addUser. As you can see, everything is working like previously. Here is our type user and payload foo. And the last thing that you need to know regarding connect is that it is possible to omit the first argument. So actually, if we don't need MapDispatchToProps, we just don't create it. But if we don't need MapStateToProps and only MapDispatchToProps, we can pass here just null, and then we don't have any mapping between state and props, and we only have here MapDispatchToProps, and this is completely fine. So this was everything that you need to know regarding MapStateToProps and MapDispatchToProps functions. And if you want to improve your programming knowledge, I also have a lot of advanced courses regarding different web technologies. And I will link them down in the description box below, so don't forget to check them out. And if you like this video and you want more content like this, don't forget to put thumbs up to support me and subscribe to the channel. And I will see you in my next video.